Hi, my name is Samantha.
And I'm Audrey.
Welcome to Carr, Chisme podcast.
It's time to spill some tea.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA. Go SpaceX. Godspeed. Bottom.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Carr Chisme podcast. Today we have a special guest, Miss Magruder. Miss Magruder, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Jill Magruder. I have been at Carr, this is my 7th year, I think. And, but I've been in the district. I was 6 years at Lathrop. I've taught 7th and 8th grade science for pretty much all my career. Before that, I actually taught community college. I taught physical fitness for senior citizens. And before that, I worked in hospitals. I was a recreational therapist. So I kind of had a different road to getting to be a teacher.
Why did you get into teaching?
It's kind of funny. When I went to school, my sister she became a teacher, and a lot of my sorority sisters were going to become teachers. And I was like, no, I'm not becoming a teacher. I wanted to work in hospitals and I wanted to work with kids. And I did that for a couple of years. And then I had a surprise and I had my first daughter. And I wasn't so interested in working in a hospital anymore because you have to work on Christmas and holidays. And so I changed my career and then I started working for the community college district. So I did that until my girls were out of high school. And then I became a teacher because I discovered I like to teach people.
What is something that you enjoy about teaching?
I love teaching science because science changes. Every year I'm teaching something different, something new. And I love having that moment when people are doing an experiment and it works, and then they get what I'm trying to teach them and their eyes light up and they're like, oh my gosh, this is like so cool. That's my favorite part of it.
Right now we're going through some hard times, and I just want to know, how do you feel about distance/virtual learning?
It's not my favorite because I love to do labs in my class. Usually I do a lab almost every week, at least every other week. So we can't really do that and simulations just aren't as good. So I miss that aspect of it, but I want us to all be safe. So I'm okay with staying at home, and you guys all staying at home where you're safe. But the one thing I like about remote is I get to know my students, the quiet students, because they're the ones that crack the jokes in the chat. And I get to know all the kids through like the chat more so. Like I just had to kick 3 kids out of my class to come here this afternoon because they just wanted one gave me a ukulele concert. So kids that normally can be quiet in my class, they feel like they can talk to me this year. So I'm enjoying that.
How has virtual learning affected you?
I sit all day. So I start about 7 o'clock in the morning, and now we're like almost 2:30. So usually I log off by 3 or 4. It's a long time to sit here. So that's the biggest thing, is just sitting. I feel like every minute I'm sitting here, I'm just getting bigger and bigger. Or not exercising. So I have to go out and walk really, or I ride my indoor exercise bike, which is really kind of boring, but you know, at least it's something to do.
What's one of your hobbies?
I'm sorry?
What's one of your hobbies?
One of my hobbies is something I like to share with my students is bird watching. At least I can do that in my backyard, and I do garden a lot in my backyard. I have I love flowers, especially flowers that smell, you know, like roses. You go outside in your backyard and you go, oh, the geraniums are blooming, or oh, the stock is blooming, or the freesias. So, and I have a lot of roses. So I spend a lot of time watching birds. Right now, I'm training the crows in my neighborhood to come to my house when I go outside, so they kind of follow me. They are recognizing me, which is fun because I feed them peanuts. So they, it's pretty funny. It annoys my neighbors, but they laugh at me. They think I'm going to become Maleficent, you know.
What is one of your favorite flowers?
My favorite flowers, roses. I love roses, and freesias and sweet peas. I don't have, it depends on the time of the year. So like right now, my narcissus are coming up. So those are like daffodils because they're naturalized in my yard. I have astromerias. I have a lot of different types of flowers.
What advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a similar career as yours?
That's one of my favorite things to do is to work with new teachers. I've worked with a lot of new teachers. And the advice is, don't let them get you mad. We don't get paid enough for you guys, for us to really get mad at you guys. And just, take it with a grain of salt and just like laugh, try to make it funny, and to be there for the kids, to be honest with them. That's what my students always say, is that I'm honest with them. And I think that way they develop a good relationship with me, because instead of getting mad at a kid, if you look at them in the eye and say, what's going on, then they can tell you, because a lot of my students, they get mad at me because they think I'm like their mom, because I look like, like I'm kind of a mom person. And so they had a fight with their mom and they take it out on me. And if I tell them that, then they that's the end of it. They go, oh, I'm sorry. And then we just go on with the day. So.
What is one thing you wish you had known when you began your career?
One thing I wish I had known. Okay, it's weird, but to have a teacher face. Okay. I actually learned this from my daughter in my first year teaching. My daughter came in and was in my classroom one day when I was at Lathrop, and the kids were being bad because it was the day before Christmas and she had been in college. And my daughter can just look at the kids and they all thought she was super mean because she just stared at them. So like if I'm in the classroom, I don't get mad at people, I just stare at them, which freaks them out. And then they stop doing whatever they're not supposed to be doing. And then I don't have to yell.
What's your teacher face?
Usually like that. It's usually like, what in the heck are you doing? So it usually works. It works at movies, restaurants. The kid next to you is being bad and you're like, and then I stop.
Why did you choose to teach science instead of some other subjects?
Why did I choose to teach science? Because I love science. I mean, figuring out why the universe works and teaching you guys. My dad had a telescope. And so when I was a little younger than you guys, I saw the rings of Saturn. I saw the moons of Jupiter. I saw the craters on the moon. And then when I was in college, I studied anatomy and physiology and how the body works. And to me is miraculous that all of these things are so super cool, and how things like the flowers grow, and how do we smell the flowers, and what are we smelling? You know, that's all a chemical process. So to me, that is exciting to me. And then science is always changing. You know, look at the Nobel Peace Prize winners. You know, we just proved that Einstein's theory of relativity is there because we saw a gravitational wave. That is huge, and it's super cool.
And lastly, what is something that motivates you to keep moving forward?
I'm sorry, keep what?
And lastly, what is something that keeps that motivates you to move forward?
To move forward, there's always going to be something better tomorrow. You know, it's like tomorrow we're going to learn something new. Whatever mistakes we made today, tomorrow's going to be there, and it'll be a better day. And I don't know. I always love to learn something new, and just moving forward is always there. There's always tomorrow, you know? Why should we waste today? Let's do something fun.
Well, that was all for today podcast. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Thank you, Miss Magruder, for joining us today.
Thank you, girls, for having me.